Hello, hi, how you doing? So this is exciting. This is my first official episode for my podcast and YouTube channel regarding the Bliss Project. If you are listening to this and you're like, Bliss Project, what the heck is that? Then please go back and listen to my previous episode where I explain that 2023 is really about me rediscovering my bliss, realizing just how unhappy I've really been and making it my sole focus to really come back to my bliss. So as promised, and as I said, I'm going to be recording a podcast episode and YouTube episode every week for you beautiful listeners who want to come along on this journey with me, with the intention of just really sharing the raw, the real, the vulnerable, and the things that I'm doing to actually really support myself to come back to that state of bliss. I know for a fact that if I'm feeling like this, I'm not alone, and that there are probably many of you out there who are struggling in this area as well. Especially, I think as a mama and having kids, it's a huge thing, right? Of really having that tendency to just really lose ourselves in that process, and then kind of getting to a point where the kids aren't as dependent on us, and then going, holy, who the heck am I? I know it's definitely a common conversation that I've had with quite a few women. So it's really exciting to be able to create these episodes and share this journey with you. So thank you for being here. Also, if you would like to follow along in another way, you can come and join me on Instagram, which I'm at nikki.syme, where I'm sharing bits and pieces there too. But then also on Facebook. So I guess on Facebook, I have my personal page, which is nikki.syme, NIKIISYME. But in there, I've also created a group called the Bliss Project. So in that space, in that group, is where I'm going to be really going into the nitty gritty and sharing stuff that I won't be sharing on any other platforms or any other forms of communication, just because I want to keep it in a really beautiful closed container. So if you are on Facebook, come and join me over there. I'll drop a link to the Bliss Project Facebook group in the comments of the YouTube channel. But if you're listening on the podcast, then please just head to Facebook, type in the Bliss Project and join the group, and I will let you in. So I guess it's been 2 weeks now since I kind of embarked on this. I did that vulnerable share regarding how lost I was feeling. And I am very excited to share that. I am definitely noticing a level of peace returning to my inner world. And I actually put that down to majority to simply getting back into my meditation routine. So that's been something I've committed to every single morning, 22 minutes and 22 seconds every morning. Like, it's a non-negotiable. Meditation's always been something really powerful for me, a really powerful modality, and one that has always really supported me to settle my nervous system, but also set me up for a day where I will feel calmer, right? And especially with the kids, like, I find that when I meditate, I have a lot more patience. My fuse isn't as short, so I don't react to them as much. I can respond to them in a more loving and effective way, which feels really good. And then, of course, in doing so, it means that then I build this feeling inside of myself of, yeah, well done. I'm proud of myself for the way I managed that, the way I held that and navigated that, as opposed to flying off the handle or yelling or getting frustrated at them for being children, essentially. And yeah, just being able to navigate that a lot better, a lot easier. And also in that stillness, it allows me the time to really connect in and tune in with myself and go, okay, so what do I need? Show me the way, give me the answers, because I truly believe that we have the answers within us. It's just simply allowing ourselves to take that time to connect and be with ourselves. So that's been really, it's had a huge impact. And I've also, one of the other things I've really started focusing on is not turning my phone on first thing in the morning, and then turning it off at a particular time at night. And that, look, to be honest, the nighttime piece is a little bit more challenging, but I'm finding leaving it off is actually a lot easier than I was expecting. at night there's just this addiction, right? Like there's this pull to check it. Oh, what if I missed a message? What if someone's messaged me about retreat? What if someone's messaged me about business? Like, it's really interesting noticing, how much more inclined I am to want to have it on until I go to bed. So leaning into that more and more. I haven't got there yet with that, but I am, like I said, leaning into it more and more. And actually last night I did it. I went to bed very early last night. I turned my phone off. I think I put it on flight mode at around, what time was it? It was probably about 8, and I went to bed at 9:30, and I found myself wanting to check it, but I was like, no, you are going to bed. And I fell asleep, and I didn't wake up till early this morning. So, and I'm just noticing that, just creating that spaciousness with myself to be able to get my rituals done, my morning routine, which is my meditation, my exercise, to be able to be present with my kids in the morning. So there's no TV on at the morning as well now, no pads, no screens, nothing for any of us, apart from my partner, but that's a different story. So yeah, really implementing that, especially with my kids. I'm finding that in itself is like, it just feels calmer. I feel so much calmer in the mornings. The kids listen better, we get stuff done, and then once everything's done, they can watch a bit of cartoons. And then once I've completed my ritual and my practices, then I switch my phone on. But I'm not turning it on before I create at all. So it's like I do my rituals, I create, and then I turn it on. But just in general, noticing, even like when I'm working, putting it on focus so that no one can actually message me or I'm not getting distracted. Huge game changer. Oh my gosh, when I'm trying to be present and focused on something and just turning my phone on to do not disturb, huge. I am just getting so much done, which in itself, and so much completed, which in itself is actually creating a lot less stress in my life. Stress is a big robber of my joy, a massive robber of my joy. So that's been huge. And then also really noticing, like, really reflecting. So it's allowing me a lot of spaciousness to reflect on my life and to really hone in on the subtle ways in which my bliss is being robbed. And I guess one of the biggest things that's really come through, and I've really just gone, okay, this is huge, was my business. So the coaching business that I was running and doing, how much that was actually robbing me of my bliss. Like, huge, so much. I created my business, my coaching business, 6 years ago for me to be able to be home with my kids, to be a stay-at-home mom so I could raise them and have my business grow on the side, a little side hustle of mamahood. And because being present with them, not missing milestones, those kind of things were really important. And while yes, I have managed to do that on the kids' side, like I haven't missed milestones and stuff, it's affected how much I've been able to give to my business. And as a result, my business has been fluctuating up and down. And then obviously having multiple children. So I've had and started raising 3 children in that period of building a business. And it certainly hasn't given me what I wanted. It certainly created more stress, more distraction, like constantly being distracted, being on my phone, being on calls late at night, so missing bedtime routines, which I love. I love laying in bed with my boys and cuddling them to sleep. Noticing that I would get frustrated a lot more because I'm like, I want to be working, or I need to be working and making money. And just really realizing and noticing how that model just has not served me as a mother wanting to be present with my kids as well as generate an income. So that's been really beautiful because it's really amplified and rooted in and anchored in the fact that I've made the best decision by releasing my coaching business for now. Like I generally want to come back to that, but I want to come back to it where I can literally serve from a space of heart. It's not serving from, I need to make money, I need to pay the bills. It's a service. It's serving from a space of, I'm so taken care of. My life is abundant already that I just get to create from my heart and really help people in that way, which hasn't been the case because the fluctuations, it's like I'd launch something, I'd launch a program, I'd launch, a retreat or something like that. And then as soon as that was over, I had to go into the next. So it was like just constant launch phase, doing all the things, being a solopreneur, all the things. My fellow, businesswomen out there, coaches out there, you get it, right? So making the decision to really move into affiliate marketing and align with the business that I have now, I'm already noticing the spaciousness. Oh my God, guys, the spaciousness, the time that I'm getting back, the support, having people that are actually building alongside me and can support me through this process. Like back when I was coaching and being solopreneur, if I was running a webinar or something or a program and I got sick and I couldn't do it, that was it was done, right? Whereas this, it's like, oh, I'm not feeling well. It happened a few weeks ago. I was like, I'm not feeling well, I lost my voice, I was meant to do a webinar, couldn't do it. Hey guys, I can't do it, and someone jumped in. So just that level of support and like having a team that hold you in the times when you can't, and knowing that it's not going to impact my income is just like, thank you, universe, for sending me this model, this vehicle. It's just the best. So that's been huge, I have to say, because releasing that and stepping into this new business really was it was scary. I gotta be honest. I was just like, oh my God, I've built my business for 6 years. Is this really the right decision? But now, like really reflecting on it and seeing how it's paying off is just like, yes, 100%, this is the best decision of my life. And then that flows into another incredible decision where I have chosen to no longer use filters on social media, which has been confronting and liberating. And I didn't realize just how much using a filter was robbing me of my joy and my bliss. Insane, right? Like it just blows my mind. I'm like, wow. Because there was this underlying subconscious thought going on of people are perceiving me as one thing. It's like my mum, right? I went and picked my mum up on Christmas and she got in the car and she's like, what's wrong with your skin? And I was like, what do you mean what's wrong with my skin? And she's like, oh, it looks like orange peel. And I was like, what? And she's like, your skin online, you're like, every time I see you on your stories and stuff, you look so great. Like your skin looks amazing. And I'm like, oh, that's because I'm using filters, mum. And look, I have amazing skin anyway, and you'll see on the video. And I'm actually really blessed. I have beautiful skin. I love my face, everything. But yeah, just realizing that using these filters was actually a way of me avoiding this beautiful natural process that I'm going through, but also setting myself up for, like, there was this underlying thought and feeling of, oh shit, people are going to see that I don't actually look this way, and I need to start wearing makeup, and I need to do this, and like just this feeling of like pretending, right? Of like faking it. And to me, that just robs me of so much bliss. Pretending to be something I'm not, faking it, like constantly having to uphold a certain way of looking and being that's not actually in alignment. Because honestly, guys, I'm a bogan. I'm such a bogan. And majority, like, yes, I love to dress well, and yes, I love to feel good, but I don't wear makeup very often. I have wrinkles, my skin's not perfect. I have crazy wild curly hair, and sometimes it doesn't do what I want it to do. And not every day is wearing these beautiful clothes. Like sometimes I'm just in a baggy baggy singlet and shorts, but I was setting myself up to be perceived in a way. It's like the fucking highlight reel, right? We all know the social media highlight reel, and it makes me sick. And I didn't realize how much it was actually impacting. And then also noticing where I was comparing, right? Of like, oh God, this is a whole other podcast, I think, like just talking about the social media stuff and how much it robs us from our bliss. So yeah, that's been wildly scary and confronting, and at the same time, hugely liberating, because I'm taking back my power. I'm really feeling like this is me, and I'm not gonna hide anymore, and I'm not gonna pretend. It's like this veil is being removed from my before in front of my eyes, and everything that is so out of alignment in my life with where I'm going, who I am, what I'm doing, is just like slapping me in the face, like boom, 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 to the point now where I actually just can't avoid it. Like there's just something in me that's pulling me. I was having this conversation with a girlfriend the other day. It's like, I'm not in the driver's seat anymore. My bliss is in the driver's seat, and she is like ruthless. She is ruthless in her alignment, and I can't pretend anymore. I can't fake it. I just don't want to. She won't allow me to, because she knows, my bliss knows, that my access point and the gateway to actually feeling real joy and contentment in my life and inner peace is through not pretending. It's through really being real with myself and truly being myself, but really like loving myself deeply first. Yeah, it's like really choosing me, choosing my alignment, choosing my yeses, choosing my nos. And this whole theme around stop pretending is huge. It's huge. Yeah, so like presence has been a huge thing as well. Gosh, there's so much. And I did actually make notes because I'm like, I can't remember all this. There's so much. Every week I guess it'll be better, but I had 2 weeks of stuff going on, right? Yeah, that drive, the energy, I can feel the energy of bliss. I can feel her moving through me and working through me and actually guiding me and pulling me to where I need to be, really checking in on my life and making changes and just going, this is out of alignment. This is robbing you of your bliss. Like ruthless alignment. It blows my mind. And it's freaking confronting, but at the same time, I feel so grounded in it and so peaceful in it. It's a really interesting kind of place to be dancing in, to be honest. And I'm here for it, because this is what I've literally, like, I've called this in. I've asked for this. I've said, you know, I activated her. I said, bliss, like, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to find my bliss this year. And she sure as shit is calling me forward in really powerful ways. So I'm just going to check my notes real quick and make sure I've kind of covered everything, and just see. I might actually just read you out what I've written, because it's really beautiful. It's a little insight into my mind. So on the 30th of December, the less time I spend on my phone, the calmer, happier, and more present I am. I also get a lot more done. Amen. When I'm on my phone during times when the kids and Gary need me, i.e. the 5 to 7 p.m., it creates a lot of tension and stress in my body, which equals less bliss. I get frustrated because I'm trying to get something done at a time when my family needs me to be my number one priority. Being distracted with equals frustration. I'm also noticing that putting my phone on Do Not Disturb means I'm getting so much done and actually completing tasks because I'm not distracted all the time. It's like my brain is having a holiday and I'm closing a heap of tabs in my head. Who can relate to that? Like feeling like they've just got a million tabs open in their head. The constant distraction impacts my mental health and creates stress in my body. Oh, and then I had a question, and I actually invite you to really look at this as well. Is like, what do I expect bliss to feel like? What do you expect bliss to feel like? If you were like, okay, bliss, what is bliss? You know, it can be such a, you know, oh, I want to be happy. Yeah, but what does that actually look like for you? What does that actually feel like and mean to you to be happy? What, like, when we think about bliss, it's like, oh yeah, it's happiness, it's joy, but how does that actually tangibly transmute into your life? What does it look and feel like? So things like being distracted rob that, right? So I've written, I think I attach bliss to the extreme highs I feel, when in actual fact, it's not bliss because it's not anchored in groundedness. It's flighty. Okay, I'm just trying to read my own writing because it's not great. It's flighty, and the only way I can describe it is like that high is up in my head and floating above me. When I feel contentment, I feel it in my base chakra, like I'm rooted into the ground. It's a very different feeling. Gosh, I'm insightful. Beginning to notice just how much being present is the gateway to feeling happier. Much, 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 definitely. My phone, or should I say my relationship I have with my phone, robs me of my bliss. A calm inner world creates a calm outer world. Oh, this journey requires truth, discernment, and a new level of self-leadership. Our ability to create meaningful change is dependent on how real we are willing to be with ourselves. I am required to become super protective of my time and energy. So on the 31st of December, which was my birthday, I wrote, I got on my phone first thing this morning because it's my birthday and I'm feeling it. There was chaos in my head, overwhelm and stress. Interesting. Loud sounds are triggering me. I feel unstable and unanchored in my head. Down, short fuse, feeling down, time to meditate. So then on the 4th of January, I shared, I'm not using filters, as liberating as fuck, no pretending to look a certain way, just me and my rawness, aging gracefully and something, my natural beauty. I have no idea. That's like really bad writing, Nick. Meditation is definitely supporting me to feel calmer inside. Noticing when my mind wants to get busy, I am able to detach from the thoughts more easily, not feeling as consumed. More positive outlook. Fuse not as short with the kids, which is nice. And then I've written, I love him, but I need to love me more. And that's for the next episode. Where really I want to share around what's coming up for me, especially in my relationship, right? Like obviously I still love talking about love and relationships, but really there's been some huge triggers, huge stuff coming up around my relationship and my romantic union that I get to really share and speak into on the next episode for you all. I don't feel ready yet. So yeah, that's it. My loves, I guess, the 3 things that I've really been focusing on. I was just like, I'm taking it one thing at a time. The main one was just getting into that meditation, 22 minutes and 22 seconds every day. And I will gradually begin to increase that. But just starting at a point where I know I'm really capable of holding that. And I committed to 30 days, essentially, initially. I will continue, but the idea of being like, I'm going to do this every day for a year was overwhelming, right? So it's like I'm setting the smaller goals to support me to actually move towards the bigger goal, right? It's those little steps that get us to the bigger results. So the meditation, not having any filters, not using any filters, and really stepping into no pretending, right? Removing that veil and just being like, let's just get real. Let's get real. What was the other thing? Not turning my phone on. Huge. So 3 really powerful things that I invite you to all try. If this is something that you're wanting to step into yourself and create and cultivate more bliss, and I invite you to take inspiration from what I share. This is the whole point of why I'm doing this, to take inspiration from what I'm sharing so that you too can actually start implementing some changes in your life, some meaningful changes that are going to bring about some really powerful shifts and support you to really anchor in and connect with your bliss. So that's it, my loves. I hope you have a magical week. Let me know your biggest takeaway in the comments. Come and join me over on Facebook. And if you're listening to this and you're also curious about the business that I'm now doing too, then please don't hesitate to reach out and I can share some info with you on that as well. All right, my loves. I'll see you again next week.